If you own a business with your spouse, some of the challenges I'm about to share with you are probably more than a little self-evident. I'm sure you can name several of them off the top of your head. Blurred work and life balance, where the business quite frankly consumes the relationship. Boundaries, a lack of clarity on who's accountable for what, and the stepping over and into one another's role. Unhealthy decision-making dynamics, and there are a whole range of those. The three I've mentioned are only a few of the challenges of being in business with a spouse, and each of them separately and in combination can have devastating impacts on the relationship and the business you were so excited to start together. Worst case scenario is what they call irreconcilable differences, leading to the dissolution of the marriage and sometimes the business as well. This is all too common, with many studies finding that entrepreneurs and small business owners are among those groups that tend to have higher divorce rates than the general public, hovering around 50%. As a husband and wife-run company, I myself am sometimes reminded of a story Leo Buscaglia tells about his mother, when asked why, when she and her husband fought so much, she didn't just divorce him. Her response was, "Murder, yes, divorce, never. I get it." However, all joking aside, this is a devastating statistic, one that cries out for a resolution. Another damaging outcome is when the business struggles due to conflict and a lack of partnership alignment. Keith Cunningham has an interesting phrase he uses called "mama dies of exhaustion," where one of the partners is quite simply worn out after about 10 years of trying to make it happen. I often share with my clients that it's very hard to grow a company you've come to resent. I've experienced times like that in the past myself. That resentment may take the form of becoming tired of the conflict and shutting down, of feeling undervalued and unappreciated, competing interests, not having time to rejuvenate or to rest. When the business consumes the couple, it can get to the point where that's all they talk about, think about, fight about, dream about, and the marriage itself can lose the sacred ground it was founded on. When all of this is put on top of the very real struggles of owning a small business at all, it can become too much, way too much for a business and a relationship to deal with successfully. Pretty dismal, huh? Yes, and that's an outline of why the divorce rate of small business owners is so high. So what's possible in a family-owned business where a husband and wife are committed to avoiding these pitfalls? What's the good that owning a business with your spouse can provide? Firstly, as a couple, you most likely share similar values and goals in life, in addition to your love for one another. The strength of those values and the focus of those goals mixed in with the love you share are the foundation for the growth of your company. It's very important that those values and goals, along with reminders of your loving commitment to one another, are captured somewhere. Perhaps something as definitive as a family business agreement or as simple as a vision board. Another gift of couples that work together is the ability to leverage one another's strengths. Most couples have complementary strengths. Ones I've commonly seen in clients I've worked with over the years is one partner is outgoing and good at sales, while the other is much better behind the scenes. While it is quite often true that opposites attract, be sure to get clear on one another's roles and avoid the mistake of "I'll sell and you do the accounting," especially if the one assigned to the bookkeeping isn't trained in managing the finances or doing the books. Couples we know that have successfully navigated working together have a few things in common. First of all, they invest in their relationship. This may be in the form of hiring a business coach, someone committed to them as individuals and as a couple and to the business's success. They may even invest in outside counseling as individuals and or as a couple. They put the marriage first, business second. That's sometimes challenging to do when it comes to the demands of running the business. Let me share with you the story of one of our client couples. This young couple started their business together and quickly grew from the two of them to about 30 or so employees in the first 5 years. They had all the struggles I mentioned above, and it was truly taking a toll on them. They came to a complimentary strategy session with our firm and took on investing in business coaching for their company. One of the first things they did was get clear on their goals in life and in the business over the next 5 to 10 years. Everything from how much money they wanted to make, where they wanted to live, travel, kids, philanthropy, boat, no boat, and when they wanted to exit the business. Then they took on gaining clarity in their finances, planning the operations, their roles within the company, policies and procedures, hiring and workforce planning. They continued to grow, doubling the business, rapidly growing revenues and profits, and putting in the operational systems to sustain the growth. In short, they built a company that could run without them. A sellable asset, and that's just what they did. They sold their business and are now focused on the business of building family wealth through a variety of means and investments. That's our goal with all the business owners we work with here at Action Coach Team Sage. Choice. Because I grew up in a family business, I own a family business with my husband. 2 of my sisters ran family businesses with their husbands, and many of my clients are family-owned businesses. This is personal for me. I've witnessed and lived the joys and the challenges of running a business with one's spouse. It's not for the faint of heart. As I often say, it's not for sissies, and an adult is required. Especially when something happens and all you want to do is scream, "What the hell have I done to my life?" Especially then. Just know you're not alone, and there are ways to navigate this wonderful and trying business structure. Some of the things that have made a difference for us is getting clarity on one another's role, having a strategic plan, a long-term one broken down into 3 years out, then annual and quarterly goals and action plans. We've always had a business coach of our own ever since we started the business in 2006. We believe this type of outside perspective, yet committed to us, support is vital. We've invested in a property that forces us to get away and have committed to traveling more, both for time alone as a couple and some time away and alone on our own to think. While that takes some planning, as my elderly father has Alzheimer's and lives with us. However, with planning, we've made that work. For me, managing well-being is also paramount. There were years when I didn't do that, and it was most assuredly impacting me, the marriage, and the business in negative ways. All that said, I don't have your answers. However, there are answers inside each of us. What I can do is engage in this conversation with you, reassure you that it's normal to have challenges in business, especially in a husband and wife run business, where the stakes are higher. Know in your heart that there are solutions, resolutions, and actions you can take to grow as a couple and grow the business too. Click on the link in the description to find out more and sign up for our newsletter.